Now, multiple lawmakers in the Senate are putting together a new stimulus relief proposal, and some states have decided to reinstate the federal unemployment benefit boost. New income thresholds may lead to less Americans receiving a fourth stimulus check. Everybody, this is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report, and we have a ton of news to cover in today's video. So be sure to stay until the end, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like.
President Biden making the case for the bipartisan infrastructure plan this summer and trying to get it passed by fall, but will progressives from his own party get in the way? Some saying that the $1.2 trillion package doesn't go far enough and won't pass without additional spending.
Now, with the extra 850,000 jobs added to the job market, the U.S. has now managed to recover about 15.6 million of the 22.3 million jobs that were lost in March and April of 2020. However, this means that the jobs market is still more than 7 million shy of the pre-crisis level, with evidence suggesting that the recovery has begun to plateau in recent months. Out-of-work Americans in Indiana, Texas, and Maryland have all filed lawsuits against their respective states, seeking to reinstate a crisis relief program that paid now an extra $300 a week in unemployment benefits. 3 states are among the 26 states, nearly all of which are led by Republican governors, that decided last month to prematurely end one of the federal unemployment programs that provided out-of-work Americans with an extra $300 a week on top of the regular state benefits, and extended eligibility for contract workers, as well as those who had exhausted the regular state benefits. The supplemental benefit is not slated to expire until September 6, 2021. Congress created the programs in March 2020 and voted twice to extend them. Roughly 4 million people will lose their jobless aid as a result of the new policies. Unemployed residents in Indiana were the first to take legal action in an attempt to block the state's push to end crisis unemployment benefit programs. In mid-June, 2 nonprofit groups also sued Governor Eric Holcomb, arguing that he had violated the clear mandates of Indiana's unemployment statute. But folks, a state judge ruled Friday that Indiana must continue paying the federal money to roughly 230,000 residents of Indiana until the lawsuit is decided, arguing evidence suggested the early termination of the program violates state law.
Yeah, and so Manchin and Sinema really should call Pelosi and Biden's bluff and say, okay, well, then we're not going to support a reconciliation budget unless we get firm commitment that you're not going to try to force something through that could ultimately lose in both the House and the Senate because of those razor-thin margins. So really, Pelosi and Biden are the ones who are getting in their own way. It's really difficult to understand what Biden even thinks about the budget he just supposedly negotiated, since, yeah, he did come out and threaten to veto it just a few hours later. So if they want a bipartisan infrastructure deal, they need to commit to that instead of just tying it to an even larger.
And workers in Texas and Maryland are also following suit. 2 lawsuits in Maryland argue that Governor Larry Hogan and State Labor Secretary Tiffany Robinson violated their obligations under Maryland law and said that ending the benefits early would hurt families in the state struggling to find work. Similarly, more than 30,000 Texans are suing Governor Greg Abbott for ending the programs before they're slated to expire, arguing the Republican exceed his power in doing so. The groups of unemployed Texans filed a temporary restraining order to postpone the cutoff benefits while the lawsuit is still underway. But unlike judges in Maryland and Indiana, a judge in Texas rejected the request, suggesting the group may not have legal standing to sue. GOP lawmakers have blamed the extra unemployment aid, for anemic job growth in April and May, although economists have also cited a lack of childcare and health fears for the hiring shortage. What are your thoughts on this, everybody? Do you support the 4th round of stimulus checks? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Now, Senator Maggie Hassan is seeking help for constituents who have now received the latest round of federal stimulus payments during the crisis. Hassan, a Democrat, wrote to IRS Commissioner Charles Reddick last week, urging the agency to ensure a 3rd round of checks are sent out as soon as possible. Senator Hassan said she has heard from constituents who were told they were eligible for a 3rd round of payments but have not received them, and are only being told the delay is caused by a system issue. In her letter, Hassan wrote, while the IRS has said that it may take until December 2021 to process all payments, Americans cannot afford to keep waiting for the relief. House Representative Jamal Bowman also wrote in a Twitter post that people need recurring checks for the duration of the crisis. That's why I'm proud to support House Representative Rashida Tlaib and Pramila Jayapal's ABC Act. The ABC Act would provide $2,000 payments to every person in America as critical relief during the crisis. followed by $1,000 recurring monthly payments through 1 year after the end of the crisis. So folks, I definitely support providing the American people with more financial assistance. And if you agree with the ABC Act, leave a comment below. The income thresholds may be different for the next round of stimulus checks though. Earlier this year, income thresholds were at the center of a heated debate. Republicans pushed for targeted aid to lower income individuals, while Democrats urged for widespread relief that at least goes to working families. Now folks, that's all the news in this video. If you guys found this video useful and helpful, feel free to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like.
Thank you for holding this hearing today, and Ranking Member Heitkamp. As we've all been discussing, we know there's a retirement crisis in this country, that across the board, wages are flat, fixed costs are going up, people can't save for retirement, pensions are disappearing, and that means more reliance than ever on Social Security. For almost 2/3 of seniors, Social Security makes up the majority of their income in retirement. And for 22 million Americans, Social Security is literally the only thing standing between them and poverty. When a parent dies or is incapacitated, grandparents often step up.
Folks, it's up to all of us to protect the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The right to equal justice under the law. The right to vote and have that vote counted. The right to breathe clean air, drink clean water, and know that our children and grandchildren will be safe on this planet for generations to come. The right to rise in the world as far as your God-given talent can take you, unlimited by barriers of privilege or power. One of the great gifts of the spirit of independence, and think about this, one of the great gifts is our capacity to see ourselves whole and see ourselves honestly. What we've gotten right, what we've gotten wrong. It's a measure of the greatness of America, and we are a great nation. We don't seek to bury the wrongs. We face it. We work to make it right. You know, history tells us that when we stand together, when we unite in common cause, when we see ourselves not as Republicans or Democrats, but as Americans, then there's simply no limit to what we can achieve. None. And today, we see the results of the unity of purpose. The unity of purpose in forging in our nation, we're forging in our nation. For together, we're beating the virus. Together, we're breathing life into our economy. Together, we will rescue our people from division and despair.